Good afternoon, you guys. It's your boy Ben Mahari here, representing Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Much love to the entire LDBC and the basketball community. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And also, don't miss basketball conversations every Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Time. This is where we discuss basketball-related topics, news, debates, and everything else in the world of basketball. So don't miss out on that. And also, if those of you are new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to get all the latest notifications when I start dropping videos and live streams. And please spread the word about the channel as well. So, the big news also coming out yesterday too, as well, is the NBA is going to return. So, according to Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN, the NBA is going to return on July 31st. And according to Adrian Wojnarowski, through the interviews what he had with his sources, the NBA and the players union is set to have a conference call and set to vote at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on today to basically discuss when the league is going to decide about resuming the season and where it's going to be located. So Commissioner Adam Silver, along with the league's advisory and finance committee, have shared broad details about a possible play-in tournament at Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida, which the plans includes 13 Western Conference teams and 9 Eastern Conference teams, 8 regular season games, and a possible play-in tournament for the 8th seed plus playoffs. Now, here's the big thing here in this whole equation. The top 16 teams in the East and West will be joined by teams currently within 6 games of 8th place in 2 conferences, which these teams include New Orleans, Portland, San Antonio, Sacramento, Phoenix, and Washington. Okay. Now, the play-in tournament will also include the number 8 and number 9 teams. If the 9th finishes the regular season within 4 games of the 8th, sources say, in that case, the number 8 seed enters in a double elimination tournament, and the 9th seed enters in a single elimination tournament. Teams will begin training, I should say, at team sites in July and advance to full training camps in Orlando later on in the month. Now, this is really gets interesting here. So, among the 8 teams let down in Orlando format, several are disappointed and concerned about how a 9-month window between games will affect competitionally and also financially. All right. So, for those teams that have already been left out, which includes Atlanta, Cleveland, and Charlotte, there has already been dialogue with league urging the mandatory summer training camps and regional fall tournaments that could bridge the lengthy gap between the seasons. Those are the type of ideas teams will consider and vital, and there's expectation that the NBA will raise possible scenarios such as within the players' union. Okay, and also for those who are asking about the safety protocols and how this will help avoid the players getting sick with coronavirus. So they've already negotiating in details about safety protocols. So the NBA bubble is going to be governed by a set of safety protocols. While players and coaches will be allowed to golf and or eat outdoors at restaurants, they will also need to maintain social distancing. Okay, so the NBA is planning to have uniform daily testing for the coronavirus within the Walt Disney campus environment. All right. Now, if the player tests positive for the virus, the league intends to league's intent would be to remove that player from the team to quarantine and treat individually, and to test all team members as they play on. Now, employees at Disney Resort will have to maintain similar protocols. For example, no staff will be allowed to in the players' rooms, hallways, and they will be carefully managed to avoid crowding. Okay, so that's just pretty much, in a sense, what the league is going to plan on doing, and what they're going to be vote for, which will be assumed it will be passed. Now, look, you guys have been, if those of y'all who've been with the channel since day one, since the whole coronavirus pandemic thing hit the fan, I have been against playing for the league resuming the season since the whole pandemic started. All right, to me, it just does not add up, and the fact that this league has tried so hard to build a play-in tournament, and basically try to add more teams into the mix is really going to make things a lot more confusing. We're just going to have to wait and see how this will play out. But I know that this is going to be a major opportunity to put some more content on the channel. But I have been against, watching any basketball if they decide to resume the season, because you're basically sending the message loud and clear that, the health and the well-being of your players is less important than about the money and the revenue and everything that you've lost since the pandemic began. Now, look, I know there's going to be a lot of players that are going to be saying, like, well, listen, we're losing money every single week. So we need the money and we need to find a way to support our families. And that I understand to a heavy extent. But for the other top tier players that are not going to lose much money over this, listen, they know that they're going to lose not much money. I'm more worried about the other players that are not making the big time, superstar dollars. You know what I mean? I've just not been a huge component of resuming the season. I've hated it. I just don't agree with it. I think it's ridiculous. And if more and more players get sick because of what the league decided to do, this is going to reflect on them very, very badly. And it is going to spread, nationwide, that this is going to happen if you decide to resume, any season. All right. Football has yet to even start yet. And I'm anxious to see how the NFL is going to try to, prevent the coronavirus from hitting its players too. Baseball is currently on pause right now because of what's been going on. And I think it's most likely going to be canceled too. And so a lot of these other things, and also NHL too. Now, I've heard some things about maybe for them, they might play in the Pacific facility there too, almost similar to what the NBA is trying to do. Listen, I have not been the hugest fan of resuming the season, like for the reasons that I gave. And it's not going to even legitimize a true legit champion, because listen, if a team wins the championship during that whole condensed season, it is really going to reflect on the fact that they're going to be going to be known as an asterisk champion than an actual champion. All right, that's number one. Number two, like I said, the player's safety and their well-being always comes first. Right now, nobody even cares about any sports or anything relating to sports right now. All right, because people are slowly dying because this whole coronavirus pandemic. Okay, and the fact that the NBA has tried for months to try to negotiate this really shows how just infatuately desperate they are to resume, basketball. For me, I could live without basketball for a year or two, without watching it. If I just saw the highlights, I wouldn't have a problem with that. And most likely, that's probably what I'm going to be doing too, because I'm not going to watch, guys play out there. And if multiple players get sick over this, it is going to be a lawsuit waiting to happen, and it's going to reflect really, really poorly on the league office and all the league officials that wanted to resume the season, because there was also a certain section of agents and general managers that would prefer the season to be just canceled altogether and resume and restart a new season in December. That I would have had no problem with. And by the way, for the NBA Finals, if it does get to a Game 7, this game schedule is also supposed to be scheduled by October the 31st. All right. Just want to let you guys know on the loop on that. But yeah, I just not been the biggest component of resuming basketball. I think it's far too early to do it. And I think that it's really going to reflect, really, really bad if multiple players get sick over it. Just watch. If LeBron James, Steph Curry, or Kevin Durant or Giannis Antetokounmpo all get sick with the coronavirus, and it gets progressively worse to the point where they can't even do anything and they have to stick around in isolation, man, it is going to be really, really bad, and it's really going to reflect very poorly on the league for years to come. Y'all know this. Listen, I'm a huge NBA lifer. I love the NBA since I was a kid, but I would be very, very disappointed if the league decided to vote yes on it. And more importantly, if they decide to vote yes, why is it that this took this long? I mean, I just don't get it. I'm not riding on it. I don't want to see it happen. But more importantly, it does not make any sense whatsoever to presume basketball at all. I just not I just don't see it at all. It's just not. It's going to reflect real, real bad. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section.